1,000% because we dragged a few people from Florida. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, John. They're leaving their families to be up here, which is appreciated. For a night or two, but I'm definitely hungover from being with them last night. Never again. The two-step is right.
I think you should go 3 up.
You gotta go back. It's gonna be our stage. So today is a commemorative event, and the commemoration is of 30 years, and the format is going to be the same for each of the managers that are going to speak this afternoon. The format is youngest in terms of tenure to oldest in terms of tenure. And when you hear these dates, this is unbelievable. I personally couldn't even believe the dates. When you hear some of these dates that you're going to hear today, wow, it's making me feel old. But those are real dates, those are real start dates, and they're real years of tenure. So how did we come up with this idea? This idea came from Pete, as he and I went to Japan to commemorate the Nagasaki project in Sasebo, Japan. And unbeknownst to me, there is a very sacrosanct process that you do with military people for these projects. And I guess the field operations people, especially from Ohio, know about this. When you finish a project and it's gone amazing, and you've gone above and beyond, and there's courage and there's strength and everything that what you've done, they shake your hand and they exchange a coin. You don't look at it, you don't know, whatever. I guess you just put it in your pocket, you look at it later. But it's called a challenge coin. And so we're gonna do a little of that today. I keep saying tonight, feels like tonight. And the floor is gonna start with Pete. And only people in the world who've actually touched these kind of military projects are entitled to this particular honor. So that's what Pete's gonna do, and then we'll go from there. So Pete, take it away. If you guys have any Kleenex, he's probably gonna need one.
Most great guys are emotional guys, so.
That's true.
That's what I tell myself.
Petey, you could have memorized that.
I trust me, I read it a bunch of times, so, but, I didn't want to make it 4 pages, so I made it small.
Pete, give us the history of challenge coins.
So, a little short story. There's a couple different variations over the years during different conflicts. But the most famous, most well known, and probably the beginning of the tradition was back in World War I, as the Army Air Service started to build up, and many men volunteered to serve. There was a wealthy lieutenant who wanted to give each member a memento, something to carry with them. So he ordered several coin-sized bronze medallions, coin-sized, not what we see today. He placed his own medallion in a pouch around his neck. While he was serving, he was shot down over Germany. Survived, was captured by a German patrol, and in most cases during those times, they stripped you of every identifying mark, anything that you had, but he kept the pouch around his neck. He was taken to a small town near the front lines, managed to escape, made it to a French outpost, and French soldiers didn't know who he was. He spoke a foreign language. They thought he was the enemy. He remembered he had that pouch and that coin, and pulled it out, showed the soldiers the unit insignia to the French soldiers. He was spared. So when he made it back to his squadron, it became tradition for all service members to carry this unit emblazed coin at all times, just in case. So, as Alan stated, there is a tradition in the military and within the Department of Defense that has existed for some time now. Something meant to instill pride, reward hard work, outstanding service, performance, duty, and excellence. Military officials occasionally give them to non-military personnel for outstanding service reward, keyword occasionally. Several of our staff, before you now, have received some of these for their hard work and outstanding service in the field. Not often do contractors, if ever, provide them to the military. As Alan stated, JetDoc did this past summer. I was privileged to provide the U.S. Navy Seabees in Sasebo, Japan, with Alan present, a challenge coin in person, and share our thanks for their hard work, dedication, and success, and their performance as they worked side by side with our staff. Something that was met with extreme gratitude, pride, and honor by all members. Today, I'm privileged and honored to do the same before you all for several of our JetDock staff who fulfilled this project with a level of performance and excellence on such a large, logistically challenged, labor-intensive project in some difficult conditions halfway around the world. Many thanks for their individual sacrifice and resulting praise by Base Command, directly, if I'm not mistaken, who is now an admiral. Gave everybody, especially our guys, great praise. So, with that being said, Mr. Zach Wasson, hired October 25th, 2021, 2 years.
The Asian ladies fainted when they saw him.
The first day in Sasebo, when we arrived, I'll still never forget this. It was like he was some kind of circus anomaly. As we
Movie
walked down,
star,
and
movie star.
He was up here and everybody else was down there.
Yeah.
John Irwin, hired
Yes.
September 6th. Mr. Jeremy Crosby.
Hey.
Hired January 29th, 2007, with 16 years.
16 flipping years. He was only 8 when he started.
He didn't have a beard and I had hair.
Where at, Jimmy?
Mr. Jim or James. This is
Congratulations.
hired September 23rd of 2002 with 21 years. My honor.
Yes.
And least but not last but not least, got that right, Mr. Todd Parks.
Yes.
Hired June 12th of 1996 with 27 years.
Trained all of us.
Bravo, Todd. Bravo.
It truly is my honor and privilege.
Thank you.
Hey, round for Pete.
Yeah, Katie boy.
On behalf of JetDock Incorporated, I am privileged and honored to receive from the Admiral, the NAVFAC Far East Commander Fleet Activities, Sasebo, Japan, Public Works Department Award for honor, commitment, courage, presented for excellence. Bravo to the whole team. We'll have this in our case. Somehow we'll put it in the case and it'll be pretty amazing. So,
Yeah, that's cool.
so that's the military thing. We could end right there, but we're not going to. We're not going to. You know why? Because we have our own little version here of a commemoration that I think is not only due and earning, but frankly, maybe even past due. And the exciting thing here, to follow our theme, remember our theme, we're going to go from newest tenure to oldest tenure. And what I've done is I've asked the managers to say a word about the staff that they manage. And they will present them, they don't know this yet, they will present them with a handshake. It will not be a coin, because that is reserved for the field operations staff. However, our own custom JetDock coin, little picture of
Gift cards.
gift cards.
Yeah, Visa.
Right? Now,
Right.
what anniversary is this?
30.
So you figure it's $30, right?
30 grand.
That's more like, that's exactly I don't know, the number 3 just seems like it does begin with a 3. Your activation instructions are in a separate envelope, which I'll give you later. But anyway, our first manager, who is the youngest tenure, who was one of 4 incredible hires in the year of 2018. That's when I aged about 10 years. Hiring Anthony Ciccone. Let's go!
All right, Anthony.
Shake hands, they put it in their pocket, and if they lose it, I'm spending it.
So Dan Berman started his venture here in March of 2013, I believe. And it's been a great part of the success on the retail side for sure. Nobody has a bad thing to say about Dan. He always does the right thing. And when he came into the dealer department, it's been a privilege and an honor to be able to work with him and see him do what he does. And I appreciate you, man. It's I love working with you, and I look forward to continuing to work with you.
Bravo.
We do the math. In March of 23, he hit his 10-year mark with the company, which traditionally is a watch, right?
You're making me
Man,
nervous, right?
Dan was like all over the place talking about watches and everything, and updates this and updates that, and it's hard to pick out a watch for somebody. It's a personal thing. So Dan opted for the cash, and I think that's going to be good.
One March when he's in a suitcase. For those of you that got watches, I'm sorry. Our next youngest manager was a personal hire of mine, somebody that we cannot do without. One of the hardest jobs in the history of the planet, and someone that it took me 10 years to find. With 3 failures, and he's the 4th, and if he's a failure, I'd be 4 failures. So, no, he's an absolutely amazing dude, and he has 3 staff members who are not here because it's John Conklin from Hello. Hey, why don't you give them a date? Why don't you give me their start dates, because it's hilarious.
Howdy, I was in Florida. The first guy I have is Brian Perez. He just started this past year. Great guy. None of you guys have met him yet, but hard worker, and he's learning pretty quick. He started on July 3rd of 2023.
It's a 0.5.
This guy is Dylan Snyder. Another young guy, trying to bring him up. He's back and forth, very high strung and a lot of energy, but he started last year in March 1st of 2022. So only 1 year there.
All right, Dylan.
And last is Thomas Tobacco. Everyone met him. He's been here for 5 years, started August 6, 2018. Another guy just kind of on the long run, but everybody I get is a big help. I've been through a lot of people, so we're just gonna keep on pushing.
Bravo, Johnny. Don't spend it on that'd be $9 that you. All right. This reminds me of my own, when we used to travel before we had cell phones. I would have all the reservations folded in and I'd just peel them off. The flight, the car rental, the hotel, the free. All right, here we go. Our next youngest tenured manager is still that 2018, which was like the worst, most lovely year of my entire life. Yes. Very military of you. Make that handshake really count.
Like I have a speech.
Yes.
You gotta go a couple more.
My speech. There once was a gal named Janet Bomer. Her start date was the year 2018 on the 21st day of October.
Ah.
I know. She came to Jet Dock after working on a boat. We thought she'd be a good fit to help keep us afloat. She's taking on more tasks to keep her busy. She's doing it well, as I never see her in a tizzy. Except yesterday when we voted. For all the times, both easy and tough. For shared laughs and days that were rough. Thank you, dear Janet, for all that you do. The workplace is brighter because of you.
Yes. Woo. Very nice.
Remember, you're not allowed to look at it.
It was adorable. It was great.
Very
Yeah, that
cool.
was
They
good.
put the image.
Very clever, Michelle.
Yeah.
Is that incredible? If you ever want to do this for an event, I have it late for you. And, it's very fun.
That was sweet.
Holy smokes. Somewhere along the road, I became the manager of field operations, and I hate this job. I absolutely hate this job. However, and I told every single person here, I swear I have, that if tomorrow the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor and everything went crazy right from there'd be like 3 people up at the office. And I'm one and 2 others, whatever. You know what job I would do? I would do field ops. And I don't think I'm physically capable, but I figure it out because it is the most pain in the ass, satisfying job in the entire world. You just, everything about it is clumsy and it's sweaty and it's hard and you finish and your customer loses their mind. These are people who could buy anything they want on the planet, and they put it in a jet dock and they go, holy smokes, this is amazing. So that's the job. I'm sort of the manager, and I am going to present, because you guys got screwed, all you got was a coin. So I'm going to do these. I'm going to give you the date, you give me the person. Hire date, October 25, 2001. Come on!
2001.
This is the
2001.
excuse me, 21. October 25, 2021, 2 years of service. Yeah, God bless you.
Put on the glasses. Yes.
Spend it all in one place. That's it. January 29th, 2007, 16 years of service.
Congrats. Thank you.
Don't spend it all in one place. September 6, 2006 with a hiatus, 16 years.
Yes. Woo.
Yeah, he regrets the hiatus. Your wife is like, oh, you should have kept the job. This is starting to get ridiculous. September 23rd, 2002. 21 years. I am still hungover from that. Last but not least, Ohio Field Operations, June 12th, 1996. 27 years, Matt Marks. I could give him 2, so he gets $6. Oh my God, I'm so glad that's my only manager job right there. All right, so again, we're dialing. This is starting to get crazy. People, longevity, and everything. The next manager on the list is a guy who promises to keep this under 12 minutes, 27 minutes. Yes. Damien Perry.
All right.
All the way up?
Yeah, as far as you want to go.
3 dudes, right?
I gotta also mention one. I gotta mention one other thing. That Pete Newdy's the one who told me about this place when I worked at a gas station like the year before, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll take the car. I was holding on tour with my band. I'm like, I'll call them. That's 22 years later. Anyways, I'll keep it short. Newest guy on the team.
You want higher dates?
I got the years, I'm missing the actual date, is that me?
Yeah. Newest to
Yeah.
oldest.
Dan Price, Stevie Danny Boy. This guy has been a great addition to the production team. He's got reliable attendance, he's methodical and pays attention to the details that I've taught him. He is the bunk master. Next on the list, JB, otherwise known as John Babin. Sorry, June 19th, 2017. Hey, that's my mom's birthday. What the hell? Don't say anything. She's gorgeous.
Don't shake his right arm.
Take his left hand.
Yeah.
Solid processor and the master of all turrets, consistent. The final results are always consistent on anything we ask of him. Plus, he gets all this shit done in just 3 days a week. And he's got all kinds of broken limbs, and he's still coming along. And last but not least, my right-hand man for 17 years. I can't. And last but not least, my right-hand man for 17 plus years. Can't do this stuff without Dudley, Robert Lowry.
All right.
And the hardest working man I know. Thank you. October 2006, by the way. Hey, we're done.
Nice.
That was quick, right?
Yeah.
So, holy smokes here. Danny, what was your smart start date?
March 11th, 2002. 6 months after 9/11. To the day.
That was your last smart date, huh?
I have carried on ever since. Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Changed my life. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Change art.
God bless
All right, we are peeling through here. It started good and then it's going down. The downhill is because
Can't follow.
these guys are starting to get old.
No, that was good.
Our next manager has 5 people to deal with. What a pain in the ass. Byron Jacobs! Take him if you want.
So when I started with JetDoc, I was 20 years old, or 22 years old, I'm sorry, I was one of the youngest people that's ever been here, now I'm one of the oldest. As I read my speech, I have to use glasses. So it's just getting that good for me as I get older. So bear with me here. Damien, that was a good speech, buddy. Thanks, buddy.
Nice and short.
Considering the last speech that you had.
All I was doing was.
It was a good speech. You did a great job.
Anyway,
Anyway,
story what happened after, if anyone's interested.
all right, for me, I have, like Alan said, I have 5 people in my department. 4 here in Ohio and Renee down in Florida. So the first hiring for me, Sean Marchant. Sean's start date was April 19th, 2021. Sean has been a great asset to my department. For those of you that don't know how the department was before Sean, he's a blessing.
Yes.
With that said, Sean is what's that? I'm sorry.
Same seat even.
Blessing or blessing, I'm not sure yet.
Blessing. Trust me. Let's just leave it at that. Sean came to JetDoc with a lot of different backgrounds. Having conversations with Sean, he's told me stories about being a diver. He's told me stories about working on horse farms. He's told me stories about running a business. All these things come into play with Sean when you deal with them on a day-to-day basis. Sean himself picked up the product very quickly and very easily. He can relate to a lot of the customers because he's also lived in Florida himself. With that said, Sean, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Next up for me, John Gardner. Start date January 1st, 2020. John is actually, believe it or not, the quiet one out of this group. Sometimes I don't even know he's there. I get up.
You haven't worked the boat show.
There's days where I get up from my desk and just purposely walk to the printer to see if John's there. Because I don't hear anything from him. With that said, though, he's always a great team player for us. Whenever I need someone to go to a boat show or I need someone to go volunteer for an install, John's always the first one to go for me. There's even been times that some of us know that John's actually brought his own boat. So John would meet us out, tow it up. Now, don't get me wrong, it sounds like a fun day for John, I'm sure it is. But for me, is in a point where I need someone to help me, he's always there to help. So for that, John, I appreciate it. I look at things a little differently, so I actually have Renee in my line in order next, but I'm gonna go ahead and go to Nick. Nick's start date was February 4th, 2019. This puts Nick at going into his 5th year at JetDoc. For those of you who know, Nick's always looking for the PTO time. Congratulations, you're getting a lot more going into this year.
From 1 day to 2.
On a side note though, Nick has probably been the most technical person that I've ever worked with at JetDoc. From the very beginning, he wanted to know how things work. To the point where he was trying to tell others how it works. Some of those guys may not appreciate it, but me, I appreciate it, because for me, I didn't have to explain things to Nick. Nick he already picked it up and was ready to go. On top of that, he's always looking for ways to improve things as well, as far as sales, pushing for more sales, trying to reach out through Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. Nick has been with the company now, this is going into his 5th year. Out of those 5 years, he's done over $1 million in sales, 3 out of the 4. This year would be his chance to actually hit 4 years. For me, being someone that, as the company grew and as I grew in the company, $1 million were untouchable. Nobody was doing $1 million. In fact, when I started, 600 was a great number. So for that, Nick, I appreciate everything that you've done. And here you go, buddy.
You can buy another baby with that.
Practice in the bathroom.
Or not.
I already feel winded up here, and these glasses are bothering me, so. Next up is Renee. Renee apparently started back in 1995, June 1st of 1995. Now, Renee, I'm not going to say anything, but Dan just told me he was in high school still in 2000. Take it for what you will. I told Dan to get away from me. So, with that being said, Renee left and came back to join us back in September 1st of 2018. Me personally, I was there that day. I didn't know what to expect. I had heard your name, but I never met you before. So it was nice to meet you that day, obviously. Renee has officially become the face of JetDoc for the Fort Lauderdale boat shows, and Florida boat shows in general, which is a blessing to me because I'm tired of going to the boat shows. I was completely burned out. Renee, you do a great job at the shows. You're very detail-oriented. All of your customers love meeting with you and discussing things with you. In your face, I've seen at the show, as well as on the phone as well. With that said, Renee, I want to appreciate it. Thank you for everything you've done. Last but not least, Sean Haggerty.
Turn it up.
Sean goes by the nickname Hammer for the company. Now, I was around when that nickname came about, for good or bad, but there's definitely a reason there that we call Sean Hammer. Sean's start date, again, was October 10th, 2005. So Sean's been with JetDoc now for 18 years.
I'm sorry.
For me personally, these Christmas parties mean a lot to me, and I remember my first Christmas party with Sean. I can't tell you the story. But if we continue to drink, I sent a picture of this to Sean this week because whenever I think it's burned in my memory, I can't get rid of it. It's there.
Todd was there.
Sean, you too, Todd? With that said, though, Sean, I appreciate everything you've done. You've been a staple for this department now for 18 years. I don't know, I personally, you're the only one that I didn't train, and I don't know what I could do without you. I hear the guys going to you asking questions on a daily basis, running ideas by you. Those are the things that help me take things off my desk, and I appreciate it. With that said, Sean is well on his 4th year of doing over $1 million in sales for the company. In a department that's doing $4 million, I've got 2 guys that are doing a great job and they're crushing it. Sean, on the other hand, too, is also, out of his 18 years of service, has been top salesman for over 9 times out of those 18. A couple times were beat by me, but it's just, I mean, I'm not counting, but right, Nick?
Yeah.
Some of you may know this, some of you may not. How we sell our product, we sell it on a cube rate, and we have a certain dollar amount that we try to sell the cubes for. And it's something that, as a manager, I have to make sure we stay in a range by the end of the year. Over Sean's 18 years of being with this company, he's averaged over $100 a cube on every single sale that he's done. During that time, the company has averaged 80. So Sean's getting $20 more on every single cube that goes out the door than the rest of the company's averaging. To me, that's something that really pushes forward my department and allows me to do things that I would love to do. So for that, Sean, I thank you.
Toolkits for $500, so.
525, Kitten.
525.
All right, guys.
525.
That's my team. It's one of the biggest departments. I appreciate everybody as well as everybody else, including you. All right?
Love you, Byron.
The next youngest, which I'm now going to start saying oldest, manager, number 50. What was your uniform number? 50? 30. 30? Number 30, Dave Borkowski.
And I think what I'm gonna do is have,
Want the date?
yeah, 2002.
You mentioned yours too?
That's 2002, 21 years already.
Well, almost.
Almost. I think I'm gonna let Sean Haggerty do this.
Oh, God.
He's gonna want to.
Or a sister joke.
It's, first of all, thanks to everyone. Field Ops Florida, which makes us look good a lot of times, most of the time. It's a tough job because it's physical and it's sweaty and it's hard. Dudley, props to Dudley, Dan, Johnny for doing such a great job, but mostly Damien, who he's the man who touches every cube as it goes out. So whether he goes to Florida, to John, or to Virginia Beach, or out of the country, Damien touches it, and if you can only not use or leave the cell phones or the pocket phones in the containers while you definitely
$500 phone. When did you buy it?
No, the last thing I'd like to say is
I called it.
Damien is a good student. He's only going to get better, and he's going to have to, because there's guys like us that are 60 and aren't going to be around here forever. And he usually, when I talk to him and try to explain something, I always try to break it down in band type of things, which frustrates him because that's not how it works.
I know more things.
That's not how it works. But what I do is I try to, and by the time he leaves the office, I think he understands it. And I guess that's why they call him Rockstar.
Because he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And the kids are right, Rock and Roll fan.
Rockstar, looking for a better defense.
Well, I'm almost last but not least, but we're getting close. So, a special commemoration on behalf of the company for 20 some odd ridiculous years. Todd Parks.
You are not the father.
Actually, last but not least is the senior manager review. This is a stunning commentary on the longevity at our company. And for those of you who lived through the pandemic, we were the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. It was almost hilarious because not only did Kenny maintain the pipeline of material, which was, I mean, companies shut down everywhere. We were the only ones being supplied based on our military contract and relationships. But we had staff. 14.2 years of average longevity in the staff. Think about that. It's 14.2 with some guys that have only been here like 2 years. So that really generates an average that is just stunning to even think about. But that's what did it, is being a very faithful buyer of materials and being very faithful in our interactions with staff. It was crazy. We were the only ones that could supply. I talked to Hammer, we were walking through the hallway, and he goes, "Yeah, it's kind of fun." I'm like, "Why?" And he goes, "People call, and they go, 'Hi, do you have any?'" Sean would sit back, take a puff of an imaginary cigar, and go, "While supplies last." It was ridiculous, but literally it kickstarted our new pricing profiles and has changed the company hopefully forever. It's been amazing, and this list is what really defines this. So when I read this to you, be thinking about these dates, be thinking about this longevity. These are managers now that it's just unbelievable to me. In my brain, I look at this. 3 of these have a 2018 date. It's no wonder I aged. The missus didn't speak to me that entire year.
Not true. It was
Do I
amazing.
look good?
Yeah, you look
Okay?
great. You look great. That's all good. You guys have got pictures from all this. Yes, everyone.
All right. September 17th, 2018. I want to tell you about this person who's been with us for 4 years. Pete went on to a different scenario, and I needed to replace the dealer department manager. An incredibly, despicably difficult job, because I did it. You're trying to manage people who are literally undercapitalized or a pain in the ass, whatever. And Pete's like, I'm not doing this anymore. So he leaves. I had to replace him. And a guy that answered the ad said to me, "Well, I leave Monday morning from Cleveland, Ohio, and I drive to the East Coast, and I'm there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, managing like 3 companies. I come back on Saturday, if I'm lucky, I hug my family on Sunday, and then I go back on Monday." And I'm like, "Well, how the hell am I gonna interview your ass? I mean, it's not even possible." And he's like, "Well, I don't know, we'll figure out something." So it's a beautiful Sunday in the summer of 2018, and I said, "Are you in town?" He texted back, he's like, "Yeah." And I said, "All right, come down to Shoreby." So he came down to Shoreby. We sat at the tiki bar there and BS'd for a little bit. He goes, "You know what, this has a good vibe, I like this." And then he came and met people at the company. He said, "This is a great vibe." And came on with us, and all he did was triple the department. That's all he's done. Unbelievable. September 17th, 2018, 4 years of service, Anthony Schifoni. God, pizza's here. Sober up. Thank you. We already tipped this guy, so I'm not running. That's the sober up pizza. Give him $3 card. February 14th. Is that St. Valentine's Day?
Sure is.
Lucky day. Well, we do love her. It's a her. This is a her. 4 years of service, 2018. The worst possible time to hire somebody in a CPA finance admin, because you know what's happening, it's tax season. Sadly, we got notice from our CPA that was working for us that she had to retire, and so we had to chase this scenario. She came in, learned this incredibly tricky job, because it's not just finance, it's HR and all this crazy stuff. 4 years of service, Michelle.
Yeah, she knows numbers, right?
Yes. Well, wait, you're the one, that's your number. You did the math. I thought we were 100 grand short in the check. The same 2018, after 5 years of failed effort on my part, I flew to Florida 9 times, hired 3 different managers who already failed, finally stumbled across somebody who is stupid enough to know that he shouldn't have taken this job. 5 years of service plus, whatever, 5.5, I don't know, you can call it whatever the hell you want. Somebody who I consider an incredible manager and a personal friend. God, but he's a cracker. He's a Floridian. He's not a bad guy. Johnny Conklin.
He's a great guy.
It's starting to get old now. Look at this junk. Holy smokes. I mean, it goes from 2018 to 2002. So now a 16-year drop. January 2nd, 2002. Who would this be?
Byron.
21 years of service and he's a senior manager who is, yeah, I would never want to do your job, dude. He literally, so he manages a team of people, which is, you know, I have a saying because I was a sales manager once. The wind blows the coldest on the sales manager's desk because you are in charge of the sales and you're not doing it. It's horrible, right? But he's got a great group of people to work with. He's got fantastic processes, and then he, of course, has to dispatch everything out of Ohio, which is another pain in the booty, but he's unbelievable. Byron, I even have a special envelope for you. Byron Jacobs.
Too old for this. We've already gone over my
Thank you.
All right, it's starting to really get old. Holy smokes. Yeah, January 18th, 1999 with a hiatus. He doesn't manage any human beings other than himself, but he does manage 5 divisions of the military, including 20 subsets of the military, which would be things like state parks and so forth, and California Fish and Game. Record all-time year, just exceeded $3 million of sales, and he kept us afloat this year in a year where our traditional marketplace is declining. 23 years of service, including time off. Pete Newdy. He's managing his wife, actually.
That's great.
So now we're really dropping. This is some old, I mean, these people probably, did they even make it? Do you guys have walkers? February 9th, 1996, 27 years of service. My business partner, I love him, he had a great expression. He said, do we have a production department? You don't even know you have a production department, because first of all, it's a different door. You have to go in there, and it has to be soundproof because it's so flippin' loud. But you could go weeks and weeks and weeks and months and forget you have a production department for this because of this one guy who manages. You know, he just manages with a Midas touch, and there's nothing more you can say. Actually, he has an expression that I could kind of use. It begins with F, and it's F the dumb S. February 9th, 1996, 27 years, Dave Borkowski. Do we even have a, oh wait, Worcester, I got an envelope for you. Another fraternity test. I'm not handing one of those to Renee, she's gonna return. Wow, last but not least, yeah, got through it. February 1st, 1995. We started on, technically, October 15th, 1983 was the incorporation date. David's priest, of all things, had a, before he went into the priesthood, had a property in Marco Island. And he was able to hang on to it through a relative or whatever, because you have to divest yourself of all your assets when you go into the priesthood. He called him up and said, hey, we don't have any money, but we want to stay in your condo in Marco Island. It's like, okay. Bless you. You know, it's like, what are you gonna do? So we went down there and stayed in this place. We ended up having to give him some money later because he got out of the priesthood, darn it. But we were there in September, but then in October, we said, you know, we need to incorporate. And we went over to Nations Bank, which had a little branch on Bald Eagle Drive, 1085 Bald Eagle Drive, I'll never forget it. And we incorporated on October 15th, 1993. You guys have seen the 1993 placards and stuff that we have up here. It's a pretty cool time. But it also had just been a big crash. If you remember, the Persian Gulf War was 91, 92, and the marine industry was decimated. So we came in at a very interesting time where everything was at the bottom, costs were low, and we were able to slide right in. So it was God's way of remaining anonymous. We were able to get into the marketplace at that period of time. But not long after that, it became obvious that we sure as hell need some help. And what do you do in that situation? Is you con your family relatives into helping you. That's how Todd got in, right? Yes, February 1st, 1995, 28 years. Kenny Peters. Hey! Love you, buddy. Don't spend that all in one place.
Thank you.
Okay, wait a minute. Kenny has to say something. Say something.
Come on, Kenny.
Speech. Well, listen, you give everybody else a warning about the speeches, because I didn't get a warning.
You got no.
Well, listen, we've been around a lot. We've been around a long time. I've seen a lot of people come and go. We've talked about all the production staff. I don't know, 30. It's amazing as to the amount of people that have passed through here. And we're blessed with some good owners. They've allowed us to be autonomous for the most part. And I think each one of us have been able to actually excel with that to some degree. So I appreciate all you guys and the effort working with you. It's been a real neat thing to see us grow from, you know, the Suzuki Samurai and a little 18-foot trailer bouncing down the road and burn sealing all the cubes that we end up getting that weren't blowhole, that weren't sealed, and to Bork coming and Todd and Renee. We were just talking about Renee and Smita. We could have got extra credit. We're going to bring Smita today.
I heard about that. Oh my God, I would love to see that.
Yeah. So it's been a really neat thing to see everybody grow. We've come a huge way. We should be really proud of where we're at, particularly through COVID. And even today. So I appreciate all you guys and thank you.
Senior stage by Kenny.
I'll be accepting a card for the 18-foot trailer, because isn't that the same one that's out there right now?
So that was
That's the 18-foot trailer.
actually
There's one in the lot.
actually there is
always in the way.
there is
Way
one
back when.
there is one more. October 15th, 1993, my business partner David. Keep eating, and
The bar is still open.
Bar's open.
Oh, yes. Yes. And pizza. Pizza too.
Oh, Pete's got something.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep.
You know, those coin things are a little bit special. You hold it. It's awesome. You want to share it with the team and the company and the showcase. But you know, we all felt that. Had a little discussion. We felt that you need to have your own little personalized thing that you can keep your experience. And then this is for your home, the office.
Oh, this is for here? You mean for me?
Yeah.
Holy smokes! All right, should I open it?
Of course.
Why is it black and gold?
We gotta see it.
It's gold. Thanks, Pete. Holy smokes! All right, I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna open. I hate almost tearing this up. It's so beautifully wrapped. Obviously, Tina's work.
Can't climb on the table. Can't climb on the table.
Oh my gosh, this is looking. Look what I'm in. Oh my God. So this really was one of the proudest moments of my entire life. So this is Japan. And I didn't have to do a damn thing except fly there and hang out. project, and it's really launched us into the new era of our business. It's no secret that we have a lot of private equity companies chasing us to sell this business, and after this job and after this year, it really has really put it off in my mind, because, and I mentioned this to the managers not too long ago, 3-4 months ago. I said, you guys have supplied me an incredible lifestyle. I mean, you really have. I mean, and it's the difference, you know. I just turned 63, 30 years, probably should be done, right? Well, the reason I'm not done is because you guys handle the bullshit, and I love it. It's just so fantastic. Tiny little things creep to me, some legal stuff and everything, and it's fun. Whatever. I'll do that until 100 years, except the missus is going to be pissed. But she's like, I'm retired. Why don't you retire? No, she doesn't want me to retire. But this is the kind of thing that makes it worth it. So I appreciate you guys. Gosh, yeah. We had, I did send a message to the neighborhood. And you guys have heard some of this.
Right about 4 is gonna get nuts.
I sent to the neighborhood the picture of the invitation, and I said, hey, there's gonna be a lot of cars parked here and so forth. Mike Fratello, former Cavaliers coach. We will have all cars towed that are within 10 feet of our house. I thought that would stoke your fire. Let me know any way we can help. Dr. Rollins, funny, congrats, Evas. The wife of Andrew Berry, GM of the Browns, congratulations, cheers to another 30. Dr. Diamandis, also same message, congratulations, cheers to another 30. Then I wrote, actually, I told my staff that they could knock on anyone's door they would like, introduce themselves, and ask for a drink. and Max Struss, a brand new forward for the Cleveland Cavs, wrote congrats, and he put a bottle of champagne and beers and all this kind of thing on here.
Or the moving trucks.
And then apparently, what is the manager for Darius Garland? Congratulations on 30 years. Yes, anyone can knock on our door. We have a full bar ready to go, LOL.
Tempting.
Who knows? Ball players, right? Anyway, God bless you guys. I'm going to put some music on. Please don't feel like you got to rush out. It's one of the most beautiful days ever.
Yep.
If you're bored, I highly recommend a walk to the common area, which is this pathway that takes you to the water.
Where's my guest room?
It is super stunning.
In the basement.
How about a round of applause for